Live from Hoffman Estates, Illinois, it's the Draft Order Show, live on CSPN. Today, I am Walter Cronkite Jr., and I will be your producer, friend, co-host throughout the show. My other co-host is Michael Vick Jr. Michael Vick Jr.? She's preoccupied right now. Well, we got a packed show today, so let's get this thing started. Michael Vick Jr., relax. Welcome to another season of fantasy football. Again, I'm Walter Cronkite Jr., and I'll be your friend throughout this show. The main purpose of this show and this network is to bring you the best and most up-to-date fantasy rankings of the best fantasy football league in the world, the Chippendale Warriors. To show you how important fantasy football is, especially for those three poor souls in our league that are married. Guys, I'm sorry. Hopefully this is the escape that you need, and this is the result of not getting you a divorce. Especially Chris out there, because this kid, let me tell you, Chris Keller, you're one of a kind. You are the only person that I know in the entire United States, hell, probably the entire world, that didn't get away from his wife in fantasy football. You actually wanted to be closer to your wife, and you created a fantasy football league that has your wife in it. Chris, considered every Sunday ruined from death till you part. All right, well, I was listening to ESPN 1000 the other day, one of my favorite shows, when I use your taxpayer dollars to sit at my desk and create things like this. It was on Carmen and Yurko, and they were talking about, it was a Would You Rather, their Would You Rather segment in the afternoon. And the Would You Rather question was, would you rather go out with sex for an entire year, or would you rather go out with sports for an entire year? I called in, I got on, and I said, guys, give me the 10th pick in a snake draft and a bottle of Jerkins from Costco, and I'm taking football for 365 days. Are you kidding me? Come on, man. Football over everything. My man Booby Miles once said, and you Texas boys will understand this, they asked Booby, state championship team, Friday Night Lights, second place actually. Booby, what's your favorite subject? Booby replies the most gangster way possible. Man, there's only one subject. Football. You're damn right, Booby, there's only one subject. From now until December, there's only one subject, and that's football. I guess he could have went the North Carolina route and responded, well, African American studies, but that class is a joke. There's no history there, and we all know what happened to North Carolina football. All right, well, let's get back to what's important here, and that's fantasy football in the Chippendale Warriors League. We've gone from 8 teams this year to 10 teams. We got 3 new players this year, and I think it's going to be one of those seasons where if you're scared, go buy a dog. All right, let's get started. First, I want to welcome the new fantasy players this year. Scott, I've known Scott since he was in high school, and he looks the same as he was when he was 3 years old. Scott, good luck. Hopefully those big computers with the big buttons can help you draft players and stuff, and Mom and Dad can help you out there. We got Zane from Texas. Now, guys, look. Zane talks slow. He's from the South. If you're going to do a trade with Zane, he's going to counteroffer with 1 ox and 1 mule, or 1 arrowhead, or 1, fish that he got out of the San Marcos River. Don't do that, guys. It's a bartering system. That's what they do in the South. Up here, Zane, we draft players for players, potentially picks for players. We'll get into that later. But this is not a bartering system, so put your arrowheads back in your little lunchbox and actually study the players. And the last guy that's new to the league, that's probably going to be my favorite and yours favorite, is Kevin Buster Green. Kevin, good luck, man. We're all here for you. All right. I was going to have a Super Bowl trophy to show off to you guys, but they're not done yet. Those little Asians out there in China and Asia, their little 18 hands are hard at work for $125 an hour to create this trophy, but they're not there yet. They're working overtime. They're making $350 an hour, and I think that motivation is going to make this trophy perfect. So once that gets in, I will show the league that. This is how the draft will go. I have these awesome pictures. If you guys want to get a close-up of these, of each player in the league. These pictures will go into a hat, and then we'll simply pick the first guy off the hat is going to get the first round pick, second guy second pick, so on and so forth. So let's meet the contestants for this year's draft. Eric, if you want to get a little closer here, we can see who's picking here. So we good? Are we good there? All right. So First off, and probably the best player in the league, is this man named Kyle Thomas. He is known as the Greek god of fantasy football. He would be represented by a Greek god. So if this comes out, first pick, that's the first pick of your draft. The second guy, the wise one, the chief, Tom Sayada. Quick fact about Tom, he's the only person with Native American descent in our league, which makes him pretty much he is the trophy. So here's Tom Sayada, a man of his people and of their word, and we'll get into an inclusive interview with Tom later. Texas boys, you'll love this. This is Furby, and this will be Eric Thomas representative. Basically, for two reasons. Eric used to be called Furby when he was a kid, and the teams that he drafts are softer than an actual Furby toy. So there we go. There's Eric. Scott, the baby of the league. Once you guys meet Scott, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. He's about 35 years old, but he looks like an 8-year-old with a beard. So there's little Scotty, he's so cute. Chris Keller. You guys want to know what it's like in Chris Keller's marriage? It's like this. There's Chris being dominatrix by this woman right here. And I heard she actually runs the other league, and last year made Chris do certain proposed trades for Chris in our league, because she has every password to Chris's computer in life. Come on now. All right, well, that's Chris's life, so you don't want to be that. One of my favorite scores in the history of the world, 42-14. Alabama rolled Notre Dame in a national title game, which brings the question, join a conference, Tony. Jesus Christ, man. All right, 42-14, Alabama over Notre Dame. That's Tony's representative. The next one. Zane, this is you. These are two Longhorns humping in a pasture in Texas. When they say hook 'em horns, is this what they mean when the horns are kind of going at it? Zane Thomas, that is you. And here he is. He's my pick to click this year. The surprise guy who's going to make the playoffs, Kevin Green. Guys, not a lot of you know Kevin. I know Kevin. I respect Kevin. And this is probably the only picture that can represent Kevin the best. It's Mr. Kevin Green, ladies and gentlemen. Another legend in his own, Hugh Hefner. This is Danny Henson. Danny, you're the only guy that can juggle 3 or 4 different girls at once, get away with it, and still come out on top. Danny Henson, everybody. And the last guy in our draft, and you know what? I saved him for last because he's probably not going to show up like last year. Mr. Sean Hart. Sean, I got 5 bottles of Irish whiskey on here. Hopefully you didn't drink all these the night before and forget to draft the next day. But Sean, this is you. Good luck, buddy. All right. Well, that does it for the first part of the show. Coming up next, we have an exclusive interview. With Mr. Tom Sayada and Mr. Eric Thomas. Coming back live here in a minute. We got to cue the music.
Whenever you're ready.
And we're back with Mr. Tom Sayada. Tom, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. It's a pleasure to be done and tasteful. This is live, by the way. Tom, in 2012, you were the Super Bowl champion. What did that mean to you, to be the first Super Bowl champion of the Chippendale Warriors football?
I think it meant more to the Native American race. That was who the real victory was. Coming back and destroying your white league, your white supremacy, and that's really what it was all about for us.
Now, I am Walter Cronkite Jr. This is not who you think I am. So, when you refer to you refer to Kyle Thomas, the Greek god of fantasy football, correct?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thank you. All right, let's get more into that, Tom. What did it mean to represent all those people, your culture, your tribe? What did that mean to you to have all those people on your back and show them the way the first time through it?
Well, it was an honor. Custer wasn't going to win this time. So
good. So you guys washed your blankets this time before you handed them out to each person. Good. Does the name Chippendale Chief from the Great Fantasy Hockey League, does that offend you?
No, I don't think so at all. I think it represents the Chippendale Warriors, and their likenesses, all the same.
Thank you. Now, Tom, this past offseason, you took a group of Native American children to camp, And these are the kids that show promise in fantasy football, and you showed them what it's like to be a disprivileged Native American kid and still have hopes and dreams of winning the fantasy football league winner. What was it like working with those kids?
Well, it was tough. I had to teach them what football was, let alone just to get them to draft fantasy-wise, fantasy smart. So
what? I know that they are. They don't have computers. Let's just put it out there. What methods or what tricks did you show them to actually draft?
I just told them, kind of throw a rock at a name, and whatever you get, you get.
Awesome. Well, Tom, we appreciate you coming on the show, speaking a little bit about your people, about your past, and we wish you the best of luck this year. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Bye.
A little behind the scenes
Footage here, the casting crew, the lighting, staging.
Damn, it feels good to be a gangster. A real gangster ass nigga plays his cards right.
All right, we're going to have to edit that word out. All right, and we're back with our second exclusive interview with Mr. Eric Thomas. Eric, thank you for being on our show today, and we will try and get through this quickly so you can get back to rehab. Okay, Eric, are you familiar with the Eli Manning and Peyton Manning story?
Man, I'm just here not to get the last pick.
That's actually pretty funny. All right, Eric, as you know, Eli Manning won 2 Super Bowls before Peyton Manning can get his first. Having your brother be the big shadow over you in this league and winning last year's championship and 2 regular season titles already, do you feel it's your time to become Peyton Manning and overtake him and become the best fantasy player in the league?
Man, I'm just here not to get the last pick.
Eric, what would it feel like to finally become the Peyton Manning in the league and overtake your brother this season?
I'm just here not to get the last pick.
There you have it, guys. Eric Thomas, the last pick in the 2015 NFL Fantasy Draft. Thank you, and we'll be back next with your draft order.
All right, you're recording.
As I walk through the valley of the...
Whew, tough interviews we had there. I want to thank Eric and Tom again for just pouring their heart and souls out in those interviews. Eric, you will be fined an additional $5 plus a Illuminati's Pizza week 1 of the NFL season. That just came down from the commissioner. Okay, what we've all been waiting for, what we're all excited about, what order are we drafting? Do you want the number 1 pick? Do you want the guy who gets hurt constantly that plays for the Chiefs, or do you want the child beater? Do you want the 10th pick, the snake pick? You come back at 11. You get a guy like Marshawn Lynch, then you go out and get a quarterback, Drew Brees, and then you're set for the rest of the season. You won't know until we do these draft picks. So, this is the way it's going to work, ladies and gentlemen. In this cooler, we have everybody's, I think everyone can see that, but we have everybody's picture. In this one, we have the draft pick. So, it might not work out where if I pick your picture first, does not mean you get the number 1 pick. It's whatever number comes out of here. But that could happen. That is a possibility. So right now, I'm going to give everyone a few seconds to pray to whoever fantasy guide you need to, and just kind of take some final moments, and here we go. All right, thank you. All right, I hope we're all ready. Lastly, I need to thank our sponsors, the Neighborhood Inn, where an Arab can be an Arab. And I'm sorry, the Neighborhood Pantry, where an Arab can be an Arab. And the Neighborhood Inn, where babies and memories are made on a weekend basis. So, nerves are setting in. I hope everyone is at least pouring their drinks out right now. And here we go. All right. Mr. Sean Hart, you are the first up. May these whiskeys bring you luck, sir. $5 says Sean doesn't even watch this. Okay. Sean, you will receive the number 2 pick of this season's 2015 draft. Congratulations, Sean. Looks like you got yourself a child beater on your team. Okay. Here we go. Number 2.